Yes, so good morning, all of you. I hope all of you are doing really well. Exams are really close, so I know there must be a lot of nervousness and anxiety, right? So today, this is a specific session for mentorship for November 23 attempt, wherein we are going to talk about two major things. One, how to get the CA study process right, and two, how you will be able to focus better, right? How you are going to be able to pay more attention. See, currently, all of y'all already have all the best study material with you. Now, at this stage, it is important for you to be able to focus, to be able to concentrate, right? And put in your best efforts. And today in this webinar, I'll help you help you with some tips which will help you be in a better state of mind, to help you focus, to help you concentrate better. And at the same time, to give you some pointers wherein whether you are working in the right direction or there are any specific areas that you need to work on, right? So let's begin with the webinar. So don't worry, last answer session is over. The last part is completely Q&A. So you all can just jot down your questions and we can talk about all of it at the latter part of the session, right? So I'll be sharing my screen with you. I'll be presenting. In between, if you have any doubts, any questions, if you're not understanding anything, you're free to connect and ask me, right? So let me start. Okay. Now, before I start with this entire thing, a lot of y'all, I saw your questions on the chat that what is this webinar all about? So first, I'll just tell you all about myself because you all need to know who I am, right? So first is my story, then how to get the CA study process right, 6 key ingredients to focus studies, how to remember better, your key takeaways for the November 23 attempt, and what is attention, ways to improve attention, what will happen in the mentoring sessions, that, and last and the most important, Q&A. So you all can ask me all your doubts and all your questions, right? So let's begin. So let me just tell you all in brief about myself. I am CA Supriya Samant. I cleared my CA in May 2011 attempt. Post that, I was working for Mukundam Chitra and Company, and then I had joined PwC. So I was working in the consulting sector for more than 6 years. I was majorly in the field of taxation. In 2018, we co-founded Antarlaksha. Now, why was Antarlaksha formed? See, me being a CA student myself, I had nobody in my family who was a CA. And I always thought if I had somebody to guide me, mentor me, right? Not just in the strategies and in the mindset also, because your mind plays a major role in this entire preparation period. So that is how this program was started, to help students strategize correctly and at the same time be in a great state of mind. And in my journey so far, I have worked with more than 500 students on a one-to-one and a group basis. I also have a collaboration with a, startup in Hyderabad, and it is one of the highest rated mentorship programs. So, these are just some of the feedbacks that I have received from the students. And it's been a great journey so far, and it has been lovely to impact so many lives. Right now, very important thing, how to get the CA study process right. See, all of you at this stage, when your exam is in November, I'm sure your classes, you have all the study material. Now you have everything with you to study, but it is very important that you're studying in the right way, right? And this is applicable to inter, foundation and final CA, all students. So I had people asking me whether, this is a foundation or this is for inter. This is for everybody, because getting the CA study process right is for each and every one of you. So let's begin. So just before I start, this is not something specifically about a subject. This is about your study process, right? Whether you're getting it right and whether, you're working on all the elements. So this is not a subject specific or a level specific mentorship. This is for everybody. One, to ensure that you're working on all the 6 key ingredients two, that you are able to focus and concentrate, which we will cover in the second part. Now, 6 key ingredients of focus studies. See, I tell all my students that, putting in your best effort is in your hands, and then the outcome automatically takes place. Now, how do you ensure that you have put in your 100%? कि मैंने मेरा 100% दे दिया है. Like, on the last day of the paper, I want each one of you to be satisfied that हाँ, मैंने मेरा 100% दिया, and the results will automatically be in your favor. Right? Now, when I say I want to put in my 100%, what do I mean by that? There are 6 key factors to ensure that you are putting in your 100% effort. I'm going to talk about each of these in detail. First is duration. Now, we all have to study minimum 10 to 12 hours every single day. And now that we are so close to the exams, like around 40 days or so, 12 hours is very much required. See, once you're done with conceptual understanding phase, revisions karna zaruri hai. You have to write papers, and all this takes a lot of time. So every day putting in dedicated number of hours is very, very important. Like one of my students last time usne pucha tha that I was studying for 12 to 14 hours every day. Still, I didn't make it, right? Still, I didn't clear. So duration is one very, very important factor. But there are 5 more factors which you need to ensure that you put in your best, right? So first is duration, putting in dedicated hours every single day, right? Second, quality. अभी ऐसे होता है कि कोई लोग 15-16 घंटे पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, बट देयर अटेंशन स्पैन इज वेरी लेस. मतलब उसमें से जो वेरी वेरी प्रोडक्टिव स्टडीज, पूरा फोकस स्टडीज इज हार्डली 4 to 5 hours, right? So what is very important is how many ever hours you're studying, right? Your mind is completely there, and you are not distracted, you don't have other thoughts, your focus is completely on your studies. In the latter part, I'm going to give you all a lot of tips to help you increase your focus and concentration level. Third is effectiveness. Now, when I say effectiveness, what I mean is there are 2 things. कि एक जो आप कर रहे हो, have you understood it well? Whatever you've studied, are you able to understand that particular thing very, very well? Second, are you able to apply your knowledge? So what I mean is, जो भी पढ़ाई की है, एक, are you able to understand? Second, have you tested the application of your knowledge? For example, कोई practical subject है, जो भी समझा है, have you written and solved? Have you solved questions to understand whether you have actually understood the chapter or particular subject very, very well? तो 2 चीजें, एक, you have to understand it. Second, test the applicability of your knowledge, कि जो पढ़ाई की है वो समझ रहा है या नहीं समझ रहा है, right? उसके बाद है consistency. So how many ever hours you decide कि ये हफ्ता मुझे 12 hours पढ़ना ही है. So being very, very consistent. I know maybe 7 days a week ये continuous पढ़ने के लिए it can be a little tiring. So what you can do is maybe a Saturday or a Sunday, कोई एक दिन 3-4 घंटे you just relax, you rest. But rest of the days you are very, very consistent with your studies, right? So 4th factor is consistency. Now 5th factor, efficiency. अभी ये जो preparation period है ना, how do you ensure that your preparation is very, very efficient? Now, if I have to divide my study preparation period, it can be divided in 3 parts. पहले कि conceptual understanding, मैंने हर subject का concept समझ लिया है. I finished with the conceptual understanding phase, wherein my concepts are very, very clear. Second, I am doing revisions. See, हमारा पोर्शन इतना वास्ट है, nobody can just study once and write a paper. It is very, very important that we add revisions, right? So revisions minimum, अभी I'm just hoping कि all of you are in the revision phase, right? Or at least तुम लोग का conceptual understanding phase खत्म होने आया, and you all have started with revisions. So I highly recommend that you do minimum 2 set of revisions, right? मतलब एक रिविजन के बाद एक पेपर लिखना जरूरी है, right? Why you need to write papers? Because only when you write a mock test will you understand where is it that I stand, what are the areas of improvement, and whether my writing speed is falling short or I've still not understood things. So all this, and this will give you a lot of confidence. So I recommend after first revision, 100 marks paper लिखना ही है, और एक पेपर exactly in the exam style लिखो, right? तो क्या होता है, we are studying for so many months, but it is very, very important that how you strategize your 1.5 days. Now, what I mean by 1.5 days, once you're back from your paper, that evening, right, next whole day, and the exam morning, you will like, I'm going to give you a link which also has the 1.5 day strategy on CA test series. So you can go through it. Ki how do I exactly strategize those 1.5 days, right? And please write a mock also in that style. So what will happen? Your mind is very, very comfortable. It knows how to go about, right? And it knows that how you have to work on these areas. Matlab, what exactly I have to study, what is very, very important that has to be covered. So as I told you, ABC analysis and 1.5 day strategy, जो link मैं CA test series का भेजने वाली हूँ, उसमें ये detail में है, so you can go through it, right? So minimum 2 set of revisions and writing 2 papers. First revision के बाद एक paper और एक exam style लिखना ही है. Now, after that is structured writing practice. What I mean is by structured writing practices, हर दिन you cannot write a 100 marks paper, right? But what you can do is, अभी जब revision phase चालू हो जाएगा, whichever subject you're studying, you know, maybe you're doing advanced accounts, आज 2-3 chapter का revision हो गया. So what you can do is, you know your exam time is 2 to 5. I'm not saying 3 घंटे पढ़ाई करो, 3 घंटे लिखो, सॉरी, पढ़ाई तो 12 घंटे करनी है. I'm not saying 3 घंटे लिखना है, but at least 1 hour, what you can do is, you can try to write and solve. So you can take random questions, मतलब जो भी चैप्टर किया है उसके पास पेपर्स या कोई भी क्वेश्चंस लो और देखो whether you're able to write and solve. So though you're not writing a 100 marks mock test every day, you are doing structured writing practice every single day. Right? So these are the 6 factors. It's important that you're working on each of these factors, right? They all play a very, very crucial role. Don't miss out on any of them. I hope this is understood. Is चीज में कोई doubts है? Anybody? You can ask me any doubts, or I'll move on to the next question. Okay. Fine. So we can move on to the next part. Okay, now let's talk about how to remember things better. See, for any memory, for us to remember anything better, you know, the more senses you involve, the better is the memory, right? Now, how many senses you have? Sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. अभी obviously पढ़ाई में taste and smell तो नहीं होने वाला है. तो sight, sound, touch. Sight is what? What you're reading. Sound is when you read and you listen, when you're reading and you listen to your voice. So when you're reading out loudly. And third is touch. Touch is writing. Touch, the more you write, the more is your muscle memory. So जितना read करो, जितना read out loudly करो, और जितना लिखो, उतना your memory will be strong, right? That's why writing practice बहुत ही important है, right? Very, very crucial. Right. One person, a question has been asked, how to retain theory. So I'm going to cover it in the next thing. Plus, as I told you, I'm going to share a list of documents with you, which has all these things in detail about memory, about speed, about better presentation. So let's talk about it in the next slide. Right. So currently what I'm trying to tell you is how to remember better. The more you read out loudly and the more you write. Very important. Writing practice is very, very important because it is your muscle memory. जितना लिखोगे उतना ज़्यादा याद रहेगा. Right? Okay. Now, some points which you can use to remember things in a much better way. First, write to remember better. जैसे मैंने पहले बोला, writing is the sense of touch. So the more you write, for practical and theory, तो usually क्या करते हैं, practical you tend to write a lot, theory you don't write at all. तो जब exam में आता है, you're not able to think that fast, you're not able to write that fast. So practical and theory दोनों के लिए writing practice बहुत बहुत जरूरी है. Next is focus on reading out aloud for concepts which are time consuming to understand. Now for some concepts, you know, बहुत time लग रहा है या बहुत boring हो रहे हैं, what you can do is you can read it out loudly. अभी जब हम जोर से पढ़ते हैं क्या होता है, you are more focused on the particular thing. When you are reading out loudly, your distractions reduce and you tend to focus on a particular thing in a better way, right? So the more you read out loudly, the faster you will be able to complete it. So you can use this for theory subjects specially, right? Next is try to connect what you're studying to simple real life example. Now, what I mean by simple real life examples, जिसका आप लोगों में से किसी का आर्टिकलशिप एक्सपीरियंस है तो टैक्स के लिए, ऑडिट के लिए, व्हेन यू हैव रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल्स, जो पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, ट्राई टू कनेक्ट इट टू रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल्स. जिसका आर्टिकलशिप एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है बट क्लासेस में एग्जांपल्स दिए हैं, हमेशा मेक अ नोट ऑफ एग्जांपल्स, बिकॉज वी एज ह्यूमन बीइंग्स वी टेंड टू रिमेंबर बेटर when we have examples with us. So जब भी कोई भी example हो, you can connect it with examples. Always do that because we tend to remember better when we have examples with us, right? Next is teach. Now this is a very, very important thing. I'll also give you a background behind this. My brother-in-law, he has been a topper throughout 10th, 12th, BCom, CA sub level, and CA AIR 4 for final CA. So, once I had asked him that what he did differently, jo maine nahi kiya, jo most of us don't do. So, of all the techniques which I'm telling you, one very, very important technique is teach technique. So, if you have someone to teach, well and good. If you don't have anybody, what you can do is you can have a whiteboard or even a pen and paper in front of you, and you imagine that you're teaching. Now, what happens is when you go to teach someone, hamara mind, it starts working. First thing kya hota hai? You will tend to do the topic in as much detail as possible, covering it from all the angles, right? So, अगर आर्टिकलशिप में सिखाया, इवन 10th स्टैंडर्ड में टीचर्स डे के दिन सिखाया होगा, यू वुड हैव रियलाइज कि जो भी सिखाना था, फर्स्ट यू हैव डन इट इन एज मच डिटेल एज पॉसिबल. योर माइंड स्टार्ट्स वर्किंग दैट वे. सेकंड, you start thinking of all the possible questions that can be asked, right? It is a very natural thing. जब हम सिखाने जाते हैं, first चीज माइंड में ये आती है कि मुझे ये ठीक से डिटेल में करना है. दूसरा, what are the questions that I can be asked? So similarly, he used to do everything in so much detail, covering it from all the angles and thinking of all the possible questions that can be asked, right? अगर अभी लग रहा है कि November 23 सब हर चीज I can't, you cannot do it in this fashion. What you can do is at least जो चीजें बहुत बोरिंग लग रही है या बहुत डिफिकल्ट लग रही है, at least try to do this. It will make your studies very, very interesting. Second क्या होगा, that you will remember it very, very well. वो concept एकदम clear हो जाएगा. So the teach technique is a very, very effective technique. So somebody asked me for theory subjects. It is extremely effective for theory subjects also. It will help you remember in a much better way, right? Okay. Anybody, any doubts so far, or should I move ahead? Okay, I think I can move ahead. Okay. Now, as I told you all, that I'm going to share a link with you, a Word document, which has this link, which has the following very, very important things, which you can go through. One, tips to score good in practical subjects, how to present theory answers in the exams, how to approach case study questions and MCQs, फिर subject-wise ABC analysis, study planner, and 1.5 day strategy. So as I told you, the 1.5 day strategy is very, very important. You should be seeing what they have, all that is given. All these resources are very, very crucial. Make use of them. When you have it available with you, please make use of them. I will share the link with you on the chat in some time. Right? Srishti is asking whether audit and law also the teach technique can be applied. Yes, absolutely. It will help you understand and retain that concept in a very good way. And you will automatically start thinking we get mostly abhi case studies, right? So ye technique se kya hoga? You will automatically start thinking, how am I going to apply this knowledge, right? So it is a very, very effective technique. You can use it for law and audit also. Great. Now, moving on to a very, very important thing. Yes. So today, as I told you all, दो चीजें बहुत important है. एक, आपकी strategy बहुत अच्छी है. Study strategy is really good. Second, you are in a great state of mind. Now, why I'm saying that? Because abhi aisa hai that you have everything with you. You have your resources, study material hai, classes ke material hai, har cheez hai available with you, right? But now it is on you to use your, to use all those materials properly and to be in a great state of mind. Abhi jo maine 6 key elements bole, to ensure that you're able to apply them, a very, very important and secret ingredient is your mind. That is the time you can start, studying for 12 hours and using all of these elements really, really well, right? So today we will understand in very, very simple words, what is attention and how can you improve your attention span, which is extremely important. Because even if I have the best material with me, high resource hai, but I myself am not able to study, I'm not able to focus or sit for long hours, then even the best material is of no use to me, right? So now let's talk about attention and ways to improve attention. Now, see, none of us have seen the mind, right? So just for easy understanding, I want all of you to imagine that this rectangle is your mind. हमने देखा नहीं है, but understanding purpose के लिए, this rectangle is your mind and it has 2 arms. तो ये बस imagine करो and then understand what I am telling you all, what I'm trying to explain you. Okay. Now your mind has a task. अभी task क्या है? तुम्हारा task क्या है? To prepare really, really well for your exams, right? What is your task on hand? कि मुझे मेरे exams बहुत ही अच्छे से prepare करने हैं. And your goal क्या है? हमारा goal ये है that we have to write the best exams that we can possibly write, right? So as I tell my students कि it is not possible for you to judge the outcome ki kya result aayega, but you can ensure that you put in the best efforts, you make every day count. So from 24th September to the last day of the paper, it is in your hands to make it very, very productive, to ensure that you're putting in your best efforts and you achieve your goal, right? Now to help you with this task, जैसे मैंने बोला, this is just for understanding purpose. The mind has 2 arms. एक है intellect. Intellect क्या होता है? हमारा intelligence, right? Intellect is intelligence, and we all, I am sure each one of you all are very, very capable and very, very intelligent. Now, along with intelligence, you also have the necessary tools, right? Tools matlab kya? Study. You have your RTPs, MTPs, your video lectures, your study material, everything that you need to study is with you. नाउ ये एग्जाम्पल को और थोड़ा आसान बनाने के लिए इमेजिन ये जो रेक्टेंगल है टास्क, मुझे उसको गोल करना है, सर्कल करना है, तो मुझे ये सब टूल्स लगेंगे, राइट? सो यू हैव ऑल दोज टूल्स, राइट? नाउ मेरे पास सब टूल्स है, पर मेरा माइंड पूरा का पूरा डिस्ट्रैक्टेड है. ऐसा हुआ तो क्या हुआ? तो इवन इफ आई हैव द बेस्ट टूल्स, मैं मेरे टास्क पे फोकस नहीं कर पाऊंगी और मैं मेरी पढ़ाई नहीं कर पाऊंगी, या इस एग्जाम्पल में ये रेक्टेंगल को मैं ये टूल्स यूज करके सर्कल नहीं कर पाऊंगी, राइट? सो टू हेल्प यू विद द टास्क, you need the tools. Second, you need to pay attention, right? Now if you see, मैंने जैसे बोला था, ये attention torch is held by the willpower muscle. So जैसे मैंने बोला, माइंड के 2 आर्म्स इमेजिन करो, एक है इंटेलेक्ट, दूसरा है विल पावर. इंटेलेक्ट है इंटेलिजेंस, विल पावर, राइट? दूसरा चीज है विल पावर. तो क्या हुआ है, इफ यू सी, मैंने ये इंटेलेक्ट ना बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग आर्म दिखाया है, राइट? बिकॉज बचपन से हमें एग्जाम कैसे देनी है, पढ़ाई कैसे करनी है, ये सब सिखाया गया है. But nobody has ever taught you how to have a strong willpower, how to focus, how to concentrate. So you will see that the willpower is a very, very weak muscle. और ये जो attention जो hold कर रहा है वो torch, उससे वो उस पे focus नहीं कर पाता है, right? तो क्या हो जाता है? There are too many things that keep distracting you. YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Instagram, relationships, what people are talking about you, and many, many more things. So all these things don't let you focus on the task. Does it happen to you all that you are also not able to focus on the task completely, right? So because we have so many distractions, right? Okay, now there is one more reason we are not able to focus, Just 1 second. So what normally happens is your attention keeps wavering because one, this willpower muscle is not trained. We have never trained the willpower muscle. Second, this hinge, you see the red color screw that keeps moving, and as a result, these two hands keep moving and you're not able to focus on the task. Now let's understand why this hinge, this red color screw keeps moving, right? Now, why the hinge keeps moving? अच्छा मुझे एक चीज बताओ. Have any of you all heard what is autopilot mode? Autopilot क्या होता है? In very very simple words, can anybody tell me? Can you all please type? What do you think is autopilot? Yes, किसी ने सुना है autopilot क्या? What is autopilot? Yes. Working by itself, out of control, no manual intervention. Right. You're right, Kalpesh. You're right, Johnny. Right. You're right, Isha. Yes. Murugan is saying it automatically controls. Absolutely. Autopilot is when you don't need manual intervention. To give you a very, very simple example, when the weather conditions are good, the pilot puts the plane on autopilot mode and it flies a particular distance on its own, right? अभी autopilot ये चीज है ना, ये हमारे साथ भी होती है. It happens with us in our mind also. I'll tell you how. See, when you're doing so many of your activities, I'll tell you, like brushing, eating, bathing, walking, driving, wherein all these activities, you're so used to doing them that you can do it without paying much attention. I'll give you an example. Today you brushed your teeth, right? But were you completely focused? Were you completely there when you were brushing? No, you were very, very busy thinking of the day, of studies, or maybe so many things. And you just brushed and you didn't even realize it happened, right? So basically, autopilots, human beings भी करते हैं. हम इतने सारे चीज, so many things which we are doing on autopilot mode because we are so used to doing it since childhood, right? So autopilot is when the mind helps you do things without you needing to pay attention. And meanwhile, the mind processes other information in the background, right? Like when you have your meals, you're eating, but your mind is somewhere else. Either you're watching your Netflix, whatever, but your mind is somewhere else and you're doing something else, right? And you're so used to doing it that you can do it, you can eat without paying much attention. Right now, autopilot also happens when you're studying also. I'll tell you how. So many times you sat to study, right? And what happened is suddenly a lot of thoughts started. Fear, anxiety, nervousness, negativity, boredom. These all are your negative autopilots, right? And once they start, you have no control and your precious time just goes by. Has it happened that, you sat to study? Suddenly a lot of thoughts went on and on and on, and you didn't even realize where your precious time has gone by. Does it happen to you all? Okay. Devanshi is saying yes. What about the others? Srishti is saying yes. Pratik is saying yes, right? So all these are negative autopilots. Okay. So many people. Johnny is saying yes. Samir is saying yes. Yes. So it happens to all of us. We sit to study and, all these thoughts go on and on and on, and your precious time has just gone by, right? Okay. Now, to understand these autopilots better, we will do one small exercise. We'll just very nice small exercise to understand how these autopilots work. So what I want each one of you all to do is, see, the time is 11:25. For the next 5 minutes, what I want you to do is simply sit and relax, right? You can close your eyes, and what you have to do is just count your thoughts. How many ever thoughts you're getting, just count them. Okay, I'm not even going to ask you what were your thoughts. You just have to count the thoughts. I will keep a tab on time. I will tell you once 5 minutes are over, right? So what you have to do is just simply sit, relax, and close your eyes. And then you just tell me how many thoughts you had. Is the exercise understood? Did everybody understand? Yes. Okay. So I will tell you once 5 minutes are over. So now you can just simply sit and relax and close your eyes. Okay. Let's begin. I will tell you all once 5 minutes are over. Yes. Okay. So the 5 minutes are over. So can you all just type in the chat box how many thoughts did you have in the last 5 minutes? Can you all tell me? Okay, someone is saying more than 20 thoughts. Okay. Uh, let me see. Tanveer is saying 11. Someone is saying more than 15. Divya is saying 10. Isha is saying 17, 32. Okay, 20. More than 20. Okay, fine. Great. So this exercise was basically done, okay, to help you understand that how this autopilot works, right? Once it starts, it goes on, and you have no control. We have no control over these thoughts, right? So somebody was asking me in the chat box that, she's just joined. So I can tell you, you will get, you will get the recorded version also later on. So don't worry, whatever you've missed, you will be able to see it, right? Okay. Now let's move on. Now that you all understood autopilots really well, let's understand how to work on autopilots and how to increase our focus so that we are completely focused on our preparation, right? So to improve focus, you need to control your mind whenever your mind goes on autopilot mode, right? And what is willpower? Willpower is the ability to control your attention no matter what the mind is saying, and the ability to do what you plan to do no matter what your autopilots say. So what I'm trying to tell you all is, every time, you make a study plan that this is what I have to study today. No matter what your mind tells you, I'm bored, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, I think I cannot do it. All these are negative autopilots. When you don't let these negative autopilots win, and when you stick to the plan, no matter what your mind is saying, every time you are doing that, you are making your willpower muscle stronger and stronger, right? So basically, when to be focused, what all I need to do, I need to break the autopilots. I need to strengthen the willpower muscle. And third, I need to steady the mind. Now, how am I going to do all of these things? So let me give you some ideas, some tips to help you increase your focus and break your autopilot. Now, let me tell you the first thing is breathing exercises. So what I can recommend is, you can do any simple breathing exercise, simple inhaling and exhaling for the same number of counts, as simple as that, right? Sitting for maybe 10 minutes a day and doing any simple breathing exercise and focusing on your breath. Now, what happens is, focusing on breath is a very, very boring thing. You all agree? If I ask you all to sit for 10 minutes and do that, what will happen is you all will be extremely bored, right? But when you sit every day for 10 minutes, just focusing on breath, which is extremely, extremely boring, you are training your mind to hold attention even to the most boring things, right? Like your breath. Now, how this will impact your studies? It will help you focus and pay attention even if you find a particular chapter or a particular subject extremely boring. You will still be able to pay attention and do that, right? Because over a period of time, you have trained your mind to help you to even focus and concentrate on even the most boring things, right? So first thing, any breathing exercise, take that. If you don't know any, you can just inhale maybe for 5 counts, exhale again for 5 counts. The same number of counts you do the inhalation and exhalation, right? And what you have to do is just simply focus on your breath. So you're training your mind to focus on boring things, which will start reflecting in your studies, and you will be able to focus even if you are not you're finding a chapter or a subject very, very, very boring, right? Second, getting out of autopilot. Now, I told you so many activities in a day which you do on autopilot: brushing, eating, bathing, walking, right? Driving. Nowadays, we do that also on autopilot. You can pick any one activity, start from today itself or tomorrow, right? And try and pay complete attention when you are doing that activity. Now, how? For example, this week you decide that I will pay attention, complete attention to the movement of brushing, to the activity of brushing. So pay attention to your hand, pay attention to your teeth, to your hand movement. See, what will happen is, because you have been doing it for a period of time on autopilot mode, what will happen is you will again go on autopilot, right? But at that point of time, when you remember that, no, I have to pay complete attention and I have to do the activity, you just bring back your attention without getting irritated on that particular activity. Now, once you think that brushing, yes, I'm able to be there, pay complete attention, you can add another activity. So you can keep on adding activities. So maybe next you decide that when I'm having meals, I will pay attention, I will enjoy every morsel, I will pay attention to my hand, to my teeth, to my mouth, to the taste, right? To relishing each and every morsel. Otherwise, what happens? You're eating, but you're watching something or your mind is somewhere else. So that is how you break autopilots. You can pick one activity. Once you are doing it well, you add another activity. Now, why will I do this? How will it benefit my studies? Now, when you do this regularly, what will happen is, it happens that when you sit to study, these autopilot thoughts start, they go on and on and on, right? So this activity will help you train your mind to be in the present moment, right? Because your mind is all over the place. You have so many autopilots. So this particular activity will help you be completely in in the present, right? So it will take some time, but it will start impacting your studies. Your autopilots when you're studying will reduce. All the negative thoughts, all that you have, distractions when you're studying, that will reduce, and it will help you be in the present moment and completely there when you're studying. So second thing that I want you all to do is getting out of autopilot, picking one activity to begin with, ensuring you're able to pay complete attention to that activity, and then adding another activity. And you can go on. There are so many activities which we do on autopilot basis. I already gave you so many examples: brushing, eating, bathing, walking. Now, can you all, each one of you, just mention in the chat box which autopilot activity you think you can break in this week, which activity you will do paying complete attention. Can you all just write in the chat box? Okay. Darshan is saying meals. Johnny is saying lunch. Great. Janvi saying walking. Nice. Okay. Driving. Johnny saying exercise. Reading. Eating. Breathing. Yes. Urvashi saying reading. Nice. Nice. Very good. Okay, great. So I'm so glad you all understood what all activities you can do on autopilot and how it's going to start helping you to be more present when you are studying and be more focused when you're studying. So the first activity which I want each one of you all to do is, one, breathing exercises. Simple breathing exercise, paying attention to your breath so that you're training your mind to pay attention to the most boring things. Second, autopilot. Once you think one autopilot, you are able to pay complete attention and do it, move on to the next one. Now third very, very important thing, study sessions. So as I told you all, every time you make a plan, maybe you've made a weekly plan, and every day when you decide this is what I have to complete in the day, then no matter what your mind is telling you, that you're bored, you're negative, you're anxious, you're fearful, whatever your mind says, but when you don't listen to your mind and you stick to what you have to do, you complete what you have planned to do, that is the time you make your willpower muscle stronger and stronger. So consider your study sessions as an opportunity to exercise and improve your willpower muscle. Every time you make a plan and you stick to the plan, no matter what your mind is telling you, right? That is the time you make your willpower muscle stronger and stronger, right? Three things understood. One, breathing exercise. That time you pay attention to your breath. Second, you pick one autopilot, master it, move on to the next. Third, study sessions. Whatever your mind is saying, whatever you've planned for the day, you stick to it. And that is how you make your willpower muscle stronger and stronger. Great. Any doubts so far? Okay. Okay. Everybody's saying that they've understood. Great. So now, I'm sure it happens to you all that you suddenly you get a lot of thoughts in between, and then your focus is completely gone, right? And you are not able to come back to studies. So today I'm going to do a very easy and a very effective exercise with you, which will help you. It's only a 2 to 3 minutes exercise. I want you all to do it with me. I'll give you all the instructions, right? We'll do this exercise together. And in the chat box, I have already shared the file with you. So next time you feel your mind is very, very distracted, you can do this 2 to 3 minutes exercise. It will help you be in a better state of mind, right? So let me just share that screen with you and then we'll start, right? It is known as the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise, wherein we use our 5 senses. So let me just do that with you 1 second. Okay. Okay, is everybody ready to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise? Can all of you all just sit and relax and just follow the instructions that I'm going to tell you all? Can you all do that? Yes? Okay. So let's begin with the exercise. Okay. Fine. So first, what I want you to do is first just relax for 1 minute, just be there. You can just focus on your breath, calm down and relax. Okay, ready? So what I want you all to do is first notice 5 things that you can see. Any 5 things, look around you and bring your attention to 5 things that you can see. Pick something that you don't normally notice. It could be as small as a shadow or a small crack on the wall. Anything, just hold on to that thing. You can just pick 5 things. So just observe one, pay 10 to 20 seconds attention to that. Now move on to the next. So let me give you all some time to do the first thing. Observe one thing, small thing, pay attention for 10 seconds or 15 seconds, then move on to the next thing. Yes? Have you all completed observing 5 things? Okay. So now let's move on to the next part. Right? Now notice 4 things that you can feel. Right? Bring awareness to 4 things that you are currently feeling. It could be anything like what you're wearing, right? The breeze on your skin, the smooth surface of a table where you're resting your hands, and whatever is the sense of touch that you get. That is 4 things. Just try and pay attention to the 4 things you can feel. Okay. Now, notice 3 sounds that you can hear. Any 3 sounds. Take a moment and listen and note 3 things that you can hear in the background. This could be very, very small thing like a chirp of a bird or maybe the fan sound, traffic sound. Just observe any 3 sounds you're able to hear. After that is notice 2 things you can smell. So bring your awareness to smells that you usually filter out. Any smell that you're getting around you, pleasant or unpleasant, just try and pay attention. Attention if there's any smell around you. Right? Now, once that is done, notice 1 thing that you can taste. So if there is any taste in your mouth, try and pay attention. Is there any taste that you're getting? Okay. I hope all of you all have done this exercise. Now, this exercise is known as the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise. Right? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is something which will help you bring your attention back to your studies, and it will help you, bring your complete attention to the present moment, because it is something which uses your 5 senses. It helps you bring your attention to the present moment. So anytime you feel that you have a lot of thoughts, you're getting very scared or very anxious, this one activity will help you bring all your thoughts to the present moment, and it will help you be able to study again, to able to focus again, right? So now that we've understood this, let's now just talk about the last part. And then we will be talking about all, you all can ask me any questions. Yeah, I know you all have been very patient in listening. Right? So all these things I have told you, these are very, very practical things which will help you focus, concentrate, and get your CA study process right. Now, if any of you all plan to join the one-to-one mentorship program, we are going to have it on CA test series also very, very soon. So I'll just tell you all in short what this program is going to be and what is it that we are going to have in the one-to-one sessions. First, there'll be daily goal tracking. So every week we will have a goal for ourselves. We'll mutually decide on the goal and the strategy for the time ahead, right? And there'll be daily goal tracking. So every day on WhatsApp, whether you accomplished your goal, that will be tracked. And I'm going to give you a tracking framework to ensure that you're very much on track on your targets and on your goal, right? Second is preparation strategy. So as I told you, very important that I told you the 6 elements, but exactly you are on which element and how do you work and put in your best efforts. What are your weak areas? You know, if you are somebody who's going to reattempt, what is it that fell short? We'll be analyzing everything and then having a specific preparation strategy for you. Post that is meditative practice for low stress and high focus. So there's a mastery exercise which we have specifically designed for you students, which will help you all be in a great state of mind. My students vouch for that, it helps you increase your focus, concentration level, and every week you will be given mastery. Another very, very important aspect is motivational counseling. It is very, very important to keep all of you very, very motivated in this point of time and ensure that you are in a great state of mind. So this motivational counseling, which has a know your mind session to help you be in the great state of mind, is a very, very important element of the mentorship program. And very important, limiting digital distractions. So I told you all, there are various techniques where will help you be completely focused on your study and reduce your distractions to a great extent, right? So that is what happens in the one-to-one mentorship program. You can connect with CAtestseries for that and understand how it will work in the future, right? So now that I have finished with all the presentations, I can, now you are open to ask me all the possible questions that you can ask, right? So basically, let me tell you one thing, all the strategies and everything, I am going to give you all, see, I have already given you a Word document, which has all these things, right? The strategies, the presentation, the 1.5 day strategy, ABC analysis, because this is something which we cannot discuss here, right? That is separately given by CAtestseries, and I've already given you the link for that. Here, you can ask me specifically any doubts if you have regarding, your focus, your concentration, how you can get your study process right? So let's begin. Devanshi is asking what should be the ideal plan. So let me tell you one thing, Devanshi, I already told you the 6 key areas. You need to first understand where is it that you stand. Have you finished conceptual understanding? If you're done with conceptual understanding, then moving on to revisions and writing practice. And very important, writing at least 2 mock tests. So it is a very, very individual thing, which I can tell you. There's also a study planner, which is there on CAtestseries. You can, you on your requirement, you can have that planner, right? So you can see the CA study planner also, but you need to ensure that you're doing revisions and you're writing papers, right? Okay. Darshan is asking, ma'am, can we start the revision from scratch from now on? Yes, you should be starting. Once you're done with the concepts really well, please focus on revisions. Ensure that you're revising very well, right? And trying to write a second revision, do a second revision in the exam style, writing one paper exactly in the exam style. Okay, Anu is asking that gadgets is something that keeps her very, very distracted. What do I do? So first and foremost, what you can do is wherever you're studying, right? So if you are studying in your room, for example, you can go and keep your phone somewhere far, far away in the hall. We all are very, very lazy. Every break, we are not going to see it, right? So first and foremost, whenever you know that I have to sit for 3 to 4 hours, just keep your phone far away. I'm not saying stop using completely. In your lunch, in your dinner break, you can, when you know you are going to take a break for 45 minutes or 1 hour, you can, have, you see your phone, you can watch some like anything that you wish to, but you need to remember one thing, that Netflix, Amazon Prime, all these things, there are only going to be additions. There is nothing that is going to be removed from there, so you are not going to have that fear of missing out, right? That is a very, very important thing which you generation has, right? So just understand one thing, this time from 24th September to the last day of your paper is not coming back. Everything else, all your digital distractions, nothing is going to reduce. It's going to just, the content and everything will just be added, right? Next question is, okay, can you share the doc? I have already shared the documents. Let me do one thing. I'll share it once again in the very end. Okay, so how do I focus on the process and not the outcome of studying? See, let me tell you one thing. You don't know what the outcome is going to be. You cannot spend your time and mental energy, your precious time. See, you don't know what the result is going to be, how the examiner is going to check, right? But one thing you can do is, instead of focusing, which is something which is not in my hands, right? Outcome, the result that I get, I don't have it in my hands. But one thing which I have completely in my hands is the process. I can ensure that I make each and every day count. Today is 24th September. Today's day is in my hand, right? So what you need to ensure is you put in your best effort every single day. And the only thing you need to ensure that on the last day of the paper, you are very satisfied that I have put in my best efforts. So that is why it is very, very important that you focus on the process and not the outcome. Okay, next question. I have many questions coming up. 1 minute. Can others please mute themselves? I am so that you can ask me the questions on the chat, please. Okay, Krishna, how to remember concept of syllabus? So as I told you, I've already told you memorization techniques. Plus, in the file which I'm going to share, it has a link which has all the memorization techniques, the ones which I told you and many more. You can surely refer to it. Okay, Devanshi is asking, how can you join the mentorship program? You can connect with CAtestseries for that. They will surely guide you in the process.
પૈસા ભરવાના CAtestseries વાળી જ છે મતલબ
Varun is asking how much more time one should take to complete the syllabus. See, Varun, I don't know exactly what stage you are, right? But as I told you, very important that once you finish your conceptual understanding phase, you are revising and writing papers. So that is something which is very, very specific to an individual, depending on the strengths and weaknesses and which subject you are, and whether it's your first attempt or which attempt, right? So the key ingredients which I told you, ensure that you're working on each one of them. Everybody is asking me, where is the link? Okay, I'll again just send you the Word documents. I'll send it to all of you again. Okay. Okay, so Darshan is asking, how can we start the revision from scratch from now on? See, once you're done with conceptual understanding, you have to do the revision because you are not going to remember everything now, right? So this revision can be a detailed one wherein you have your markings and everything important in place. And in your second revision, you can only do whatever you've marked is very, very important. There is a ABC analysis which is given by CAtestseries. Then you can prioritize your studies and your important markings accordingly. Okay, then, so Shrishti is asking, I feel hard to recall or any topic, mostly theory. So the main thing about theory is, one, that you're doing the conceptual understanding well, you've understood the concept well. Second, more revisions. The more number of times you revise a particular thing, the better you retain, right? And the teach technique, which I told you, is a very, very crucial technique. You can use it. It will help you retain and understand things in a much better manner. So start using all these techniques to ensure that the strength of your memory is much, much more.
teach એ બ્રધર 10th થી લઈને 10th 12th બીકોમ અને સીએ ના 3 લેવલમાં ટોપર છે. એટલે એમ પૂછ્યું હતું કે તે શું કર્યું અલગ, તેમ છે કે જેટલું થાય ને એટલું ભણાવવાનું, સામે કોઈ હોય નહીં ને તો પણ
Ma'am, how
બોર્ડ
much more time one should take to complete the syllabus? Like the next 10 days, we can
મારે ભણાવવાનું
complete it. Yes.
મને
Varun, it is
આવડતું.
very important that your concept is very, very clear. And yes, you ensure that the earlier you complete, the better, right? So if you finish in the next 10 days by maybe 5th October or so, you can focus maybe doing 4 to 5 revision, 4 to 5 days per revision. If you, it depends. If you have one subject or two subjects, so accordingly you will have to divide your number of days. First revision will be a detailed one. The second will be a shorter one. As I told you, it will be on, having the alternate days, so that you are exactly, the strategy and the planning, how you go about with your exams.
એજ્યુકેશન ટાઈપની છે કે 3 રિવિઝન તો થવા જ જોઈએ.
Okay, there are many more messages to cover. Okay, Kirtan is saying that every day she begins, she's very, very confident, but at the end of the day, she loses her confidence. So Kirtana, what I can tell you is, what you have to ensure is you take one day at a time, you have a target for that day, and you try to, complete that target. Once you're able to complete the target for 4 to 5 days also, you will see increase in the level of confidence. So very, very important, you set a target, and once you achieve the target, it will help you increase your confidence level. Set realistic targets. So if you've decided I'm going to study 12 hours today, what is it that I can study in these 12 hours? That should be a realistic target, right? And once you complete it, automatically you will be able to improve your confidence level. And another thing that will help you increase your confidence level is writing mocks. The more number of mocks you write, you will be able to increase your confidence level to a great extent. Next question. Pragya, you're asking me to repeat which technique? Shamal is asking that she is not able to feel confident in a particular subject even after revision. So as I told you, after revision, please write papers. Writing papers, writing mock tests is something which will give you a lot of confidence. That is the only time you will understand when is it, like where is it that you stand, what are your areas of improvement, right? So it is very, very important that you write mock tests. Mock tests will help you increase your overall confidence level. Right, Shamal? So I want you to start writing your mocks after every subject revision. Okay. Okay. Prakash is asking how to allot a day a week for revision with having test series day by day. See, what you can do is you can have, maybe 4 to 5 days to revise a subject. And if you have taken chapter-wise test series, after maybe 2-3 chapters, you write a test for that particular those chapters. And once you're done with the entire syllabus, you write a 100 marks test. Okay, Saloni is asking, please guide an audit subject. So as I told you, I'm sharing the link now. Please go through the link. It will help you better to handle these subjects and have the ABC analysis also. Okay, a lot of people are again asking one-to-one sessions, mentoring. Please connect with CA Test Series. They will help you here. Okay, Devanshi is saying that she's having exam fear because of which your health is getting affected. See, Devanshi, what I can tell you is we all are scared. It's nobody who is not scared or does not experience fear. But, you should always think of all the good things you will achieve once you clear these exams. Focus on that, right? And just focus on getting one day right. You don't think of what will be the outcome. Just focus on ensuring that today's day I am making it right. I am putting in my best efforts today, right? And every day when you make it count and you write your best papers, your outcome will automatically take place. Okay. Someone is asking, Bhavya is asking, she's not able to complete paper within 3 hours. So yes. So one thing, there's a detailed document on how you complete, how you work on your speed, but very important writing practice. The more you write, the better, right? That will help you increase your overall speed. And you have to strategize on how well, you know, your paper, you need to write it depending on what you know really, really well, ensuring you finish writing whatever you know well, and the latter part you keep for things which you're not very sure of or which are very long. So that in the Word document, the link that I'm going to give you will have a specific document on speed. So please go through it. How to utilize 15 minutes? Yes. So the Word document has it. Let me just give me 1 minute. I will again attach the Word document for your reference because a lot of you have not got the Word document. So this link for takeaways, which I'm going to share with everybody, that has all the links, right? So once you click on this link and you will get all the documents there, right? On preparation strategies, on presentation, on speed, right? And also this 5 4 3 2 1 technique, which I told you, I am again attaching so that next time you can see this and you can do it anytime. So this 5 4 3 2 1 technique I told you, anytime you feel distracted, you can do it. It will help you be in a better state of mind and help you calm down and come back to the present moment. So okay, next question. So I have shared the Word documents again with you on the chat. Please have a look. Okay, next question. Atharv is asking, ma'am, I'm done with revision and even gave full test, but marks scored is demotivating me. Okay, so Atharv, if you've done that, you are in your revision phase. So please analyze where is it that you went wrong. So instead of getting demotivated, please take this as a learning, right? Try to work on area which you think, analyze your paper, you understand where is it that you fall short. Were you not able to complete it on time? Or was it that your concepts, some concepts are not good? So work on them. Don't get disheartened. Use this, right? This is something which you can use to your advantage instead of getting disheartened. Kalpesh is asking how many recent attempt questions, how many questions, how many papers you need to go through. So last 3 to 4 attempts papers, if you can go through, it will be very good. Vansh is asking, how do I prepare tax in 1.5 days? So the strategy is there in this link, right? I've sent the Word document to you. Fine.
Ma'am, there is no Word document actually in the link, and we are not able to find the link in the chat.
No. So I sent you 2 documents. I don't know why you all are not able to get it. Let me send a link again to you. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, just confirm if you've got it now. Yes, did you get the link now at least?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I'll do one thing. I'll send the 5 4 3 2 1 exercise also on this only then, if you all are not able to see the Word document. Acha, did you get the 5 4 3 2 1 link Word document, or that is also not going? That is also not sent. Okay, I've shared it now. Okay, fine. Now moving on to the next question. Okay, how many mock tests we should at least solve? So Pratik, I recommend minimum 200 mocks, right? After revision one mock exactly in exam style. Okay, Samir is asking how to score exemption in law and taxation. So the link has that, which has all the ABC analysis and how to go ahead. So you are asking from 25th onwards, you will be revising and solving paper every day and solving one paper every day till the exam for group 1 only. Is this a good strategy? So Samir, if you think that, paper solving is the only thing that is pending, you are very, very certain with the concepts and you don't need to revise, then you can go ahead with that. Manvi is saying that please guide in tax subject. I am losing confidence day by day. See, Manvi, tax is something where you need to understand the concept really, really well. You can make a list of the section numbers and, see, for tax, for law, for audit, one easy tip to remember all these sections is what you can do is just make a list of these section numbers and all the important things that you need to remember, right? And what you can do is every day, just for 10-15 minutes, go through the list. See, you still have 40 days for your paper. So what will happen is you're not spending separate times remembering these section numbers and all. But every day when you go through it, by the time your exam comes, you would have gone through it at least 40 times and you will be able to remember, right? So that is one very, very effective tip you can use to ensure that whatever you have to just quote it, you have to remember, make a list of it, go through it every day for 10 to 15 minutes. Namita is asking, she has some lectures which are pending. So please, first, whatever you're doing, please, as I told you, conceptual understanding phase is very important. Now is the time that you finish your lectures and whatever is pending. As you come close to your exams, please don't do anything new. Just revise what you have done previously before. Right, Namita? So whatever is your concepts, whatever revision, whatever video lectures or anything new that you have to do, please ensure that you're finishing now itself. And then you are only revising what you have previously done. Nothing new as you come at least 20 days or 15 days close to your exam. Don't do anything new. Just revise what you've done before. Okay. Okay, Gautam is saying 37 days. Yes, 37 days, Gautam. Tanmay is saying, how do I complete chapter-wise test series? There are 71 tests and only 40 days. So maybe you can prioritize for some chapters which you think are very, very important. At least those tests you write, right? And also please write 100 marks test. 100 marks papers are very, very crucial with chapter-wise tests. So important chapters, the A and B ones, at least write those tests if you're not getting time at all to complete the rest test. Bhavya is asking, it takes so much time to revise, how to make the process quick. See, Bhavya, if you have your important markings in place, right, the process will be quicker. So what I mean is the important things and in practical questions, you have 3-4 questions of the same type. Maybe you have just marked what are the important adjustments. And once you have finished solving one question of each type, for the rest of it, you can just go through the important questions, maybe solve on a calculator so that you're able to finish it faster.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, please tell me.
Ma'am, actually, I have one issue that I've purchased CAtestseries per subject wala, and I have given almost all the tests. Some are pending. I'm not able to complete any paper on time, not even one single paper. I take half an hour to 1 hour extra for every paper.
Okay.
So I'm facing a lot of issue in this.
So what I can recommend is, one, that first you use those 15 minutes reading time well, right? Because that is the time you strategize that how I'm going to work on the paper. I hope before every paper you're doing it in the exam style, that those 15 minutes you write, you analyze how I go about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Second is more and more practice, more writing practice. So as I told you, I know you're writing papers, but every day you ensure that at least 1 hour you do writing practice. That is the only way to improve your speed.
Okay, ma'am, I'll try that.
Yes. And use the
Thank you so much.
reading time well. Yes. Welcome. Uh, Ma'am, please send 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique again. Okay, I'm sending it to you all now. Okay, Fida is stressed that whether she'll be able to finish a portion and whether she can skip some chapter. So what I can tell you is, it is very, very important for you to focus. Again, I'm repeating the whole thing.